So let's talk about makeup. So Jody, what I might do, I might ask Alicia actually to get me a bowl of warm water, and Adam might get me a couple of makeup cleansers, magic cleansers, darling, if that's okay, because I'm going to take Jody's makeup off. But what I'd love to let you know, one of the things that's most relevant with makeup at the moment, and I love getting the Health and Beauty magazine from Coles. Does anyone else get that? And if you don't, I want you to call in and pick 1 or 2 copies up. Okay, so this has a fabulous article on colour, and it talks about finding the shades that suit you isn't just good luck. Seasonal colour theory gives you the tools to pinpoint the exact hues that enhance your natural colouring, boost your confidence, and make it easier to shop for makeup and clothes and accessories. And this process saves you so much time. So as many of you, if you've heard me do makeup, you will know that I use this book all of the time and explain to people a little bit about their colouring and about whether they are more warm or are they more cool in their colouring, or perhaps they're a little more light or they're a little more soft. There's a few different ones that we use, and it is often referred to as a winter, spring, summer, autumn chart. Now, what they've said in here is what began as a 1980s trend for colour analysis has made a comeback thanks to TikTok, where Gen Z has seen the method for understanding shades and seasons with fresh eyes. It works by matching a group of colours together. So when you find your best colours, your skin looks clearer and your eyes stand out, and no doubt about that. So then it says, so which colours suit me? And you can see from these charts, it gives you an idea of what colours suit different people. So I love this chart, and I will be laminating this and taking it along to any of my makeup classes, my facials, because at a facial, I want to book a makeup, and at a makeup, I want to book a facial. So absolutely love that, and I thought I would let you all know. You don't have to do any buying at Coles. You can just pick up the magazine. So that's brilliant. All right. So let's invite Jody over in front of the camera. Thank you, Jody, for coming and being my model. Come and have a seat here. We love having you. Just up there. This is fabulous. Thank you, darling. All right. So first step with Jody is I am going to see if there's a headband in this little collection or some clips. I don't think I put the clips out, so let's see if I've got any handy here. I might ask Taz or Adam if they could find me some clips would be great. Okay, excellent. So first of all, whenever I am working, I love to sterilise my hands, and I actually pass it around to everyone else so that we all have a fresh start. Thank you so much, Adam. I am going to clip Jody's hair back. Oh, it's matching the dress. How clever is Adam?
And we're kind of matching too.
We are matching too.
It used to be Adam and I that always matched. Now
It
me
was,
and you.
yeah. On the same wavelength,
Yeah.
Jody. All right. So Jody has a little bit of makeup on, and she did ask me if I want to take it off, but I thought, let's have a look at the transformation. Well, hopefully it's a transformation, Jody. See what we do. So I am going to use, now is your skin feeling a little dry at the moment or a little oily?
A little dry, but I'm getting a breakout, which I haven't had in a long time.
Yeah.
Sure why.
It is feeling a little bit oily to me just at this moment. So a lot of it's the change of season, as you know, and extra humidity, extra heat. It's like when I travel, say I go on holiday to Bali or to Cairns or somewhere like that, it draws out any of those impurities under our skin. And it's also a sign of a bit of a stressed skin, and moving house will do that for you. Selling one house, buying another, moving. It wasn't just moving house, it was a whole process for you. So I'll get you to come just a little fraction closer. That's good. Excellent. So I'm actually going to use the foam cleanser tonight because it will help dry up those impurities, get rid of the oil for me. And I like to have both the foam and the cream cleanser, Jody. All right. Just pop that on for a moment. I'm also going to use a makeup one to get rid of the mascara. And when I have makeup on, I always like to do a double cleanse. So first cleanse is going to get rid of our makeup. And one of our managers was just sharing with me that she actually doesn't take along any bowls of water or Magic Circle microfiber cleansers. She just uses the makeup wipes to take off the makeup so that it is a much quicker facial. So I thought I'd share that with you as well, just as a great idea. Adam, would it be okay with you if you take a before photo and an after photo for me too?
That'll be scary.
Yeah. Best not to ask if it's okay. You just go surprise. That's Adam. That's what Adam does anyway. If you know Adam Buchanan, then you know that that's what he does. He says, surprise. Let's do a photo. Let me just take a little bit more off. Sorry. I don't think all this mascara is coming off, even with the, oh, it will. Let me take more mascara off. Because your eyelashes look too good, so I need to make them look a little paler. Have you tinted them?
No, I just had Lash Impact mascara.
Oh, such a good mascara.
It is.
I think it's on special for $20 at the moment.
I didn't know you guys had a waterproof one back in.
Yes.
I've been waiting.
Oh,
waiting and waiting.
Is now my favourite. That's what I've got on. Look up just for a second for me, Jody. Just get a little bit more in there.
I love that one.
And close. Okay. I think I have got rid of that. Thanks, Adam.
Towards the camera.
Really appreciate it.
There you go.
I can see some more black under those eyes. Always happens when there's mascara involved. Look up for me. Up again. I just dampen my cotton wool stick. I'm going to move it that way. And I will also just, are you fine with these makeup wipes, darling?
I think so.
Oh, you would know by now if you weren't. Look up again.
I used to use the neutral wipes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great. Okay, so first step, still getting lots of mascara off. All right. So we've done that, we've cleansed. I'm not going to cleanse a double time because I use the makeup wipes. And we're going to go straight on to toner. So I love the Platinum Toning Essence because it is a serum as well as a toner. So we're tightening the pores of the skin. We're adding caffeine and all sorts of beautiful ingredients. And I'm not working behind because I haven't done headbands and cloths. Pat that little bit of toner there. And always do the throat, please, girls. Throat, even down to the decolletage, is beautiful. Okay, so then we're going to add tight, firm and film. Now, I don't apply tight, firm and film when my skin is feeling a bit oily or there's a couple of breakouts, except where there are lines, because it's a little bit like if you have Botox. Let's just put it where the wrinkles are. All right. Jodie, your skin is amazing. Is it okay if you share with everyone your age? Okay.
How old am I?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, have you forgotten how old you are? Just remember.
Who's watching
Are
this?
you
Oh my
41, 45, a little bit more? How much more?
A bit more.
Yeah, just share.
That was like you're getting hot, you're getting warm.
I'm getting warm. 49,
Getting warmer,
50,
warmer,
51,
warmer,
52,
warmer.
53,
Getting hot,
54,
getting hotter.
55.
You're almost on fire.
You can't be more than 55. You can't be. Look how good.
I'm
Jodie
89.
is.
I'm 89 years old.
Oh, right. Now that one is a little bit, look up first feeling.
But I've been using these serums. I'm no longer 89.
Yeah, oh, unbelievable. Cannot believe that you are anywhere near 55, darling. Impossible. Look how beautiful she is.
I even got teenage acne. Look at it.
Exactly. Yeah, you must be 25. Okay, so next step, I am a huge, huge fan. I will put a little bit, I love tight, firm and feel and all this. You've hardly got a line around your lips. My goodness. Sensational. And I am in love with this eye cream. Absolutely love it. Of course, when I'm placing it on myself, I use the little steel tip and do a little bit of a massage. I love it. Just anywhere around there. I haven't even got any lines around this part of the eyes. Close your eyes. I love it. On the lid. Must be that good skincare you're using, sweetheart.
It is.
Okay.
5
All
serums
right.
I use a day.
You do. And of course, DNA. You cannot live without DNA. Just my favorite. And it is a moisturizer, but I always put a day cream over it. My favorite is the Bright Day Cream with the added vitamin C, and because it's got factor 15 in it, or Smart Shield. And nighttime I do night serum, platinum night serum, or I do Bright night cream. Okay. All right, so just pop that on. Always do the throat. Always work up and out. And every time I do skincare, I have to do just a little massage. Don't know, Jodie?
It's the best bit.
Best bit, it sure is. And I guess that also gives a few more seconds for the products to absorb before I go straight on to the makeup. So, first part of makeup is to prime. Now, I agree with Napoleon Curtis, who says not to prime is a crime. Okay? I love that, because it's like, if I was painting my walls, Jodie, I would prime the walls, fill them in, sandpaper any little bits, which is a bit like using an exfoliating product, and I would prime it all before I paint on the walls, because I would get a much better effect. Now, we love to use the buffer brush for priming, and I only use a small amount. You do not need a lot of primer. And I just use it all around this area here. I like it on my lips. I'll hook up for me. I'm just going to check around that eye area. I haven't got any black. And I have primed. Fantastic. The face prime is a beautiful, beautiful primer. Absolutely love it. Now, my favorite foundation is Silk Fusion. So I'm going to use Silk Fusion. And I'm just going to have a look at your colouring. I think you're between Calico and Pecan. Now, I do know that you like to get a little bit of sun over summer. She's very naughty. Okay, just so you know, very naughty. But just use, so I'm going to test Calico and Pecan, and I'm a big one for testing colours rather than just, well, I can probably pick, and my pick is going to be Pecan, particularly for a race day. It's like an evening event where you're going to be dressed up, and as you said, you've got some little headgear at home that you could put on for a race day. So you've got more of the heels on you, although you might be walking around, you might do the flat ones, but you and I are only not very tall, so we would usually do heels just to give ourselves that bit of height for a special occasion. Now, I love to just make sure that it's clear around there too. So let me just do a little bit of testing. So I'm going to test some Pecan. And this is your Pecan. And you can have a look in your product catalogue as well, because it will tell you to such a large extent the right colours. So you've got, your pearl is for someone very fair. Your cashew is next. And I'm really a cashew most of the time, but I have gone to latte because I'm finding by adding a bit more colour, I'm just really liking it. And Calico is next, and then Pecan. So you can see that that colour is actually, you can see that it's the 5th darkest on the list, and that you're not fair in your colouring. You're not a pearl or a cashew. The latte is looking too light and too pink for you. You've got more the hazel eyes and the warmth in your hair, so you're more in autumn. You definitely could use Calico, and I think that that will be a perfect match. But going into summer and for race day, I'm going to go to Pecan. And I love the fact that it's a good idea to have a wardrobe of colour. All right? Actually, I just was going to test that, wasn't I? So just have a look there. All right. Alicia, can you see that that Pecan is just beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very happy with that. So I like to do one pump, and then I can add more if I need to. I apply it on the forehead, the nose, the cheeks and the chin, and little buffing movements or patting movements is great to apply your foundation. I find I absolutely love the coverage I get by using a brush, and then I always use a beauty blender to make sure that it is well blended, to take off any extra colour if I think I need extra. And that colour is perfect for you. All right, and we make sure we're going around that jawline. And because it's race day, I'm going to do an extra sort of half a pump, really, about that much I'm putting on. Mainly covering that little bit of redness, because your foundation will help cover little breakouts, redness on the cheeks. And give us, it really does more than just add colour. It is a corrector as well, foundations these days, and particularly your Silk Fusion. And watch this space because there's a new full colour foundation coming out in the next few months. I'm not sure when, but I know I'm very excited to have that as well because I do love full coverage. But you can pretty well get that through just doing an extra coat. Okay, so I'm very happy with that. Looks beautiful. My buffer brush back in there. And I love to, and please remember that your little blender is free at the end, Jane. So if you want a new blender, this is it.
Thank you.
And little guide, I pop my blenders in a wash bag on the delicate cycle with my clothes and wash them that way. But if you wash them about once a week, usually after 2 or 3 months, you may need to throw them out. So put this over with your hand out so you can remember that for me. I'll just get rid of that. Okay, so we have our foundation now. Everyone has different methods of the order that they love to do things, but what I love to do now is I love to do brows and eyeliner. Love to cover up the eyeliner. Use the eyeliner, I mean, because I love lots of definition in makeup. Just making sure there's no colour on the inside edge. If I do my eyeliner on the inside, Jodie, I make your eyes look smaller. If I do it underneath, I make them look bigger. Now, you have lovely big eyes, so you can actually do either method. But with me, I have the smaller eyes, so I always do it underneath. Okay, so let's choose a couple of colours here. And we're doing a lovely race day makeup. So I'm actually going to use some blue and I am going to use some natural on the eyebrows. I could even go to a deep brown if I really wanted to because you've got strong hair colouring there. So let's see which one I like the best. Okay, so deep brown, looks like they're all deep browns at the moment. This might be my natural, it is. All right, let's do eyebrows first. So with eyebrows, I love to measure from the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye. That's where we want the eyebrow to start. And I'm doing a lovely upwards fluffy brow. Corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, that's where I want to end, so I'm going to extend them just a fraction more. And we can spend ages doing eyebrows, or we can just do a quick one, which I'm doing today. And it's a good idea to come from the upside, up from the outside there, and also just go through the middle of the whole eyebrow so that you're not leaving any gaps. And the secret with eyebrows is to blend, blend and blend. In fact, the number one rule in makeup is to blend, blend and blend. All right, corner of the nose, corner of the eye, that's where our eyebrow should start. Come with some upward strokes there to lift the brow. Go right on the top area there. And then let's come through the brow. A few little strokes here. Right through that brow. And making those naughty eyebrows come up. Okay. Very good. Beautiful. Let's give it a little bit more lift and go up a little higher still. Okay. And I have my blue pencil for outlining. Okay, make sure to up to the ceiling for a moment, and I'm drawing through the lashes Just coming underneath through those lashes there, going 3/4 of the way along. Right, looking up again, coming under those lashes. And let's go 3/4, 2/3 to 3/4 of the way. Now Jodie has lovely big eyes, so we can go to 3/4. For Egyptian eyes or real almond shape, you can go all the way in. For my eyes, if I come close to the nose, my eyes look even more close set, and that's not what I want. Then close your eyes gently. We're going to do, I like to do about 1 centimetre through the top part of the lashes, doing it a little thicker on the outside to just lift those lashes a bit more. And of course, you could go into a wing if you wanted to. I'm doing like the tiniest little wing. Look up for me. And getting some extra definition there. Picking up a little bit of blue in there. And of course, always alcohol spray your pencils and sharpen them when you finish. And over there, so we know that that is separate. All right, now we are going to add some concealer. Let's do some concealer now. Like I might have added most of my concealers, but I have the lightest concealer. So guess what you're having today? The lightest concealer.
I've got a sand.
Have you got a sand handy? Actually, there could be some straight on the bench there above you. Got one for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I can use?
Let's do that, yeah. Wonderful, excellent. That's enough. I only use a little bit. Because I mean, my model is so young too. Okay, so next we have a little bit of concealer. We use the conceal brush to actually map out the concealer. And most of us, even my 18-year-old granddaughter, has that little crease in that area there. So we use it, close gently, tiny little bit just on that inside area. It's basically almost the tear duct of the eye. I love just a little bit on the actual lip there to create a little bit of highlight there. And we can put a little bit just to highlight underneath there. And we can also use a little bit to cover up any breakouts. And then we will just use our beautiful fluffy brush, so our eye blend brush, which is perfect. That is the eyeshadow brush. So let's find, here's the eye blend brush. Perfect for just blending out. And a soft touch will make sure that you don't remove the concealer that you've just put on, but you blend it out so that it is not visible. Okay, that's good. I'm going to use a little bit more on the chin, or I'll just use a little bit of foundation, which will also do the job for me. All right. And I'm just getting rid of that little bit of redness there for you. A little extra dot there. Okay, excellent. And I can also just make sure, and you can do this with your tissue, clean up your brush at any time with your tissues. And make sure that we haven't got any creasing with the creams that we've used. All right, time for powder to set it. All right, so I'm using some powder. This is a beautiful powder that will give us a lovely soft focus to our makeup, which is what we want. Okay. And with powder, if it's a nighttime event where I really want to make sure that it doesn't move, I will add more powder. For a daytime event, I like just a little bit of light powder. So I have it set and it will last, but I have the skin showing through. And any powder will disappear within about 15 minutes and not look powdery. Okay, so we are now going to go into the crease. So for the crease, I'm using a lovely transition colour, and I'm using Candy Almond. And I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush to apply that. And love to apply just, usually I'm doing the eye socket, but as you can see, the eye socket for Jodie is up here, so I can actually do the whole eyelid and then just bring it up into that socket there, so that I am adding a little bit of depth of colour, which will give me the eye shape that I want. Make sure that you don't bring your eyeshadow out any further than that line there, otherwise it will create a sad eye, and we don't want sad eye. Any eyeshadow palette that gets used, or if I've got the eyeshadow singly, then we spray that with an alcohol spray, which you can just buy from the chemist. And we buy a big 5-litre one to fill up all the little ones, because we go through so much in this house. All right, so now we have a colour for Jodie's eyes, that is a transition colour. Look up for me, Jodie. And we want to see that just a little bit more in that socket. Excellent. And I'm going to emphasize the socket a bit more with my macchiato, which we call MAC for short. Okay. So I'm going to work on the outside half of the eye and go into that socket with the macchiato. Look up for me, Jodie. Just look straight ahead. That's it. Great. Love that. And I do like eye blend brush. I'm getting a clean eye blend brush. Don't always have to do that, but I'm choosing to just make sure I've softened any lines there. Okay, now we're going to add some lovely colour, and the colour that I'm using is a new one called Rosewood, and I love it because it's a matte and it will do a beautiful job of creating a soft smoked edge. So for my soft smoked edge, I'm going back to my eyeshadow brush, just cleaning it on my tissue and adding a little touch of rosewood to the outside, which is exactly where I put the macchiato to create a bit of depth. And now I'm making it more a spring race day look by adding this beautiful touch of rose to what I'm doing. up for me. Very good. I'm going to do the littlest touch. And I might just use, I love the smudge brush of Astral Gold. A little bit of shimmer for our race day as well, or for a soft glam look. Close gently, and I'm just getting it on the inner shimmer. Just that tiny little bit of shimmer there. Because even when you are 55, you can add a little bit of shimmer. And then just make sure that we blend that together with eye blend brush. Look up for me. Oh, how pretty is that? All right. Now, next we are going to do, that's looking beautiful.
What colour did you use on the whole area?
I used the candy almond, which we've had for ages. Absolutely love it. I want a bit more definition than just blue, so I am going to go with, actually I'm going to go with the bronze and add a bit more definition. Look up for me and go this in here. And I often do 2 or 3 coloured eyeshadows, and I often do a couple of different lip liner colours to create what I want. And you can tell that as you're working with somebody that you just want a bit more. And Alicia, can you see how that's given me a soft look that I want? But rather than just the blue all by itself, it's just, it is like next level. Great way of doing it. It goes over there because that's going to be cleaned. So blue and bronze, Adam.
Pretty.
Because you can see the hints of the blue, which whiten the eyes.
I know.
And then the bronze just gave it a
I'm going to start
look.
going home and doing this one.
Oh, that's the whole idea. And of course, we're going to do some blush now. So, we have got so many beautiful blushes, and I'm still learning them all at the moment. But my favourite blush, which I find so hard to get out of these trays. Any hint of how I get this out, Adam's? Turn up, well, I'm not going to do that, so I will just use it as it is. And my powder brush is also my blush brush. So I'm going in with my favourite, which is Rose Delight, which, if you just want to choose one colour to use on everyone, Rose Delight. And it's a copy of a NARS blusher, which is the highest selling blush in the world. So I just want it just lifting here, going from that outside edge or just a fraction more, lifting up, going on to the temple area just above the eyebrow and giving a beautiful lift. Turn this way for me. Now turn around the other side. Can you see how that we're creating contouring? And it's not Kim Kardashian contouring at this stage, Jodie. I might do that next time, or ask the resident expert to do that for me. Not that he's a resident very often. A few hours tonight, and then he's in the Gold Coast, leaving at 5:30 in the morning after travelling back from where did you go? Charleville.
Oh, I like Charleville.
So cool.
Did you see the Billabies?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, good.
Oh, that was so cute.
Beef bus the first time I saw him.
What did you say?
When I went there. The beef bus.
What's that?
We won't worry about that. We're worried about blush and getting our blush right at the moment. Now, if I'm in a hurry, blush is it. If I'm not in so much of a hurry, I do like a little bit of bronzer. And I love a bit of bronzer there. I am not going to worry about highlighter because the highlighter I've done on the eyes is enough for me. And I'm very wary of any highlighter creating any lines. Okay. So basically, a little bit more bronzer just to warm you up a little bit because you are very warm in your colouring, which the red in the hair makes you even more warm. And half the time I'm really mixing my bronzer and blusher together, which is the look that I do for myself so often. And I just put both on a brush and go, and that's it. Mind you, I do like bronzer to just slim the nose. And
Can I use that on my belly?
soften. If you would like to. I'm just wondering who's going to see it though. That's my main thing I'm thinking of.
Oh, I can do what they do on Baywatch at the beach where they carve in
They
the
do.
six bronzer.
All right. So bronzer everywhere. That's looking great. Happy with that. Some lippy and some mascara. Let's do some mascara. And I'm putting some of my lash proof mascara on. I find with myself, I am at the moment taking all the mascara off because I just managed to get it everywhere. Okay, look straight ahead for me. I'm working from the outside corner. I can come down on those lashes a little and then work up. And if it was race day and I was at home, I would also use my eyelash curlers, my little device, and curl my lashes upwards. I also paid for a lash lift when I was last in Cairns, and it still lasted, even though it's probably been 3 months. And it has really lifted my eyelashes and opened up my eyes. Looking straight ahead still, a little bit of mascara on the tops, coming in and underneath. And of course you can always do 2 coats if you want more mascara, but I find that if I do that, I then have to clean up the excess in the next 10 minutes. Okay. I do like to make sure I've got every lash on the inside of the eye and on the outside of the eye because they really frame the eye. Okay, and that's going to be sterilised, alcohol sprayed and cleaned. And usually I do use the little disposable as well, and I pretty well always use the disposable for the lips because cleaning lip brushes is not my fun job. Okay, let's do some lips. And my favourite colour that suits just about everyone is, if I was doing you in deeper colours, I would do an amber kiss, but I'm going to do a cherry glow today. And just gently, yep, that's perfect. Create a little cupid's bow in the middle. I actually like you to do firm lips for me. That's it, great. And I am going to just come up a little bit above the natural lip line because we are going to fill this in and come from the outer edge on me of the lip, coming up, and the outer edge again, coming up. And we've got some cherry glow happening here. And firm on the bottom lip, That's it, great. Coming around, coming into the centre, and going as far on the outside of your lips to give you a bigger lip look, filling it in so that the lipstick or the whole lip colour stays on longer. And have a look at me for a moment. Okay, firm. And I'm going to use some Amber Kiss as well. Give a bit more depth here. And another colour that I could use would be a light ruby, particularly if there's a crimson in there. Light ruby is really quite beautiful and is like a very muted red. And then your Amber Kiss is like a muted, stronger brown. All right, great. So let's emphasize and strengthen up this lip liner a little more. And I do this firm. I do this all the time with my own lipsticks and lip liners. And particularly because we're going to the spring carnival together. And by the way, Adam many times has organised to have a little makeup stand at the spring racing days for the country areas, and the people have loved it. And he takes some extra lashes because what happens is their little extra lashes they put on fall off and they come over to get it fixed up. So see how that's given us, rather than a more crimson look, it's given us a rosy brown look, which is very pretty. And then I have brought Candy Apple down, and this is actually what I'm wearing. I nearly reached for that lip brush, tell you, because race day, I need to have a little bit of a red lip. And this Candy Apple has quite a lot of warmth about it. When we do classes, we give everyone the little disposable one, but quite often we use the actual lip brush ourselves because it does give us a better look. And now I'm going to, once I've done that, I can tell whether the blush needs a little bit more, and it does need a little bit more. So I am going to go back in with my powder brush and add some extra here and put bronzer. And I'm actually going to put some, what else will I use? And just really warm this up a little bit more, because we are doing basically a soft glam makeup here. And I want just a fraction more of this eyeshadow over this side, because I am trying to do it quick. So close gently, see, and let's glam this up just a fraction more as well. That's beautiful. And if I had more time, I would add even more to the eyebrows and make them a little thicker. but this is a great, reasonably quick makeup for race day. And I hope that I've given you some extra tips. Now, Jodie is a hairdresser as well as a beauty therapist, but let's have a look at that. And let's give Jodie, oh thank you, a big clap for being my model. And I might ask Adam to do an extra photo so we can send Jodie a before and after photo today.
Oh.
Thank you. And one of the reasons that I left Jodie's makeup on before I even started, I wanted to let you all see how Jodie has just a quick makeup on, ready to go out, but what a difference it can make by just glamming it up, glamming it up a little bit for race day. Okay, so thank you everyone, and I'm going to give you a challenge. Your challenge is to practice 10 makeups this month, and practice on your mum, your auntie, your cousins, your children, the teddy bears, whoever you want to practice on, but practice, practice and practice. Alicia's here, her daughter's 9. I'm sure she would love to be a model and have Alicia practice as well. Mind you, Alicia's probably practiced 1,000 makeups, but why not practice this look for spring? Thank you everyone. We'll see you in a few minutes for our GL to B / business class / let's learn a little bit more about business. Thanks, Jodie.